Good morning, it's Manager Critic Monday and I'm 15 minutes late. Did you notice? I wonder if you did. Today we're talking about, actually I forgot what we're talking about. Let me have a look. So what have I put on the title? Is it fear of change or simply too much change? The reason I want to talk about this today is because often I talk to people who get overwhelmed, they feel frustrated, and they're not happy with their behaviour because they get too emotional by their definitions. They might be very teary, or they might be really angry, they might feel very depressed and withdrawn, and people talk about having a fear of change, not feeling settled. And what I've come to understand with my clients and with myself on this journey is that one of the things that's really important to do at that point is to notice how much is or has been changing recently. And it's usually, if it's for some people, it's about a short period of time. So I had a massive wobble on Friday morning last week, which is unusual for me nowadays. I generally can manage change quite effectively, and I don't get myself into that sort of teary state where I'm thinking I can't get anything right. So the minute I caught myself there, I have strategies. And what I'd realised is that I'd stopped doing some of the things that I normally do that help me keep on track with what is and what has changed. So what I mean by that is I usually do physical exercise. I usually go out and do walking. I journal in the mornings, and each of those give me some quiet time with my own system, and they help me to access and be aware of what it is that's changing or has changed, or perhaps something that needs to change. And last week I had a really busy week. I was speaking on a number of events. I was networking till quite late. I was busy with client work, and I literally was going from one meeting to the next. And what I realized by Friday, as I was like almost full with all this information, so this person wanted this person wanted this person wasn't happy with that, somebody didn't like that, and I actually hadn't had time to process and make conscious decisions what I'd like to have happen. And so it resulted in this real sort of overwhelming sense of not feeling like I belonged, not getting enough things right. So I just want you to think about, sometimes we talk about the brain being like we have a fear of change, when actually sometimes it's not so much that we have a fear of change, but we just haven't had time to process the change we're already experiencing right now. And so for those of you that really enjoyed the weekend, that you were able to get some gorgeous sunshine, you might have been noticing a change in your system because the sun is shining, you're starting to see spring, there's hope. But equally, just notice what else is changing in your life. Maybe noticing if you're talking slightly differently about yourself. Maybe you're used to be really critical about yourself and now you're only a little bit critical of yourself. Maybe you were someone that's really positive and now you're not as positive. It doesn't have to be big changes, it can be a small change. Maybe you had really hoped you were going to get that next client and you thought your bank account was going to be okay, but this month it hasn't happened as you expected to be. Maybe you've put events on and you haven't got the numbers turning up. Maybe you're promoting something and it's just not selling. Maybe you've asked for help and you've got it this time, whereas normally when you ask for help you seem to get ignored. Whatever it is that's going on, just be aware of the change that's happening and really listen to the story that you're telling yourself. Notice the smallest changes in your language, because it can have a massive impact. And this week, good morning, whoever's with me, just comment, say hello. So today I just want to tell you a little bit of a story about last week, about my wobble on Friday. Basically what happened, I turned up at the style session I do with Lisa
I
Newport.
didn't get that. Could you
Siri.
try again?
Siri's just thought I called Siri. I do apologise. I said it was style consultant, not Siri, I was saying. And I was sorting through some clothes beforehand, and I'd put this grey, really comfy woolly dress on. And then I decided I'd go and sit and do the Zoom call on my bed because I just wanted a different space from being here for my videos and my calls. And I just wanted to be in a sort of like what I call a downtime environment, so in my off time. And I turned up to the Zoom call and I had my grey dress on and I was sort of laying on the bed. And what I realised afterwards, I felt really low. Now, we were talking about the subject of confidence and self-esteem and, you know, our sense of identity and who we are and what works for us. And there were some questions I couldn't really answer. I was thinking, God, I used to be really confident with my dressing. So I thought I wasn't very confident. I thought I didn't have much identity about myself. But actually, I used to always like things to be coordinated and matching. And actually, that's why they worked. But there was something that was niggling me. So I noticed something had changed. So I'd gone from coming off these calls feeling really energized and feeling like everything was okay. And when I checked in with myself the next day, basically, good morning, Susie. It's Fiona Jones. Good morning. Yes, thank you for giving me your name. Oh, I just realised. So I can actually, I can put you up there. Look. Good morning, Susie. I can put you on there as well. Hello, Fiona. I've found a new toy. You might have just guessed. I don't know how to take it down now. I shouldn't start playing with toys this time of day, should I? But what I was talking about, my example, is what I realised without knowingly, I was seeing myself on the Zoom screen in my grey coloured clothes, and I was being very critical of myself. I was putting myself down, and I was listening to these stories of these other people, and what I was doing was comparing, contrasting, and then criticising myself because I hadn't had their kind of jobs or that their kind of, you know, their success. And I suddenly, from a group that was talking about clothes, we were now talking about emotions, feelings, and history, and it had a completely different impact on me. And so 2 things I've learned from that for me personally is that I do have quite a bit of grey clothes in my wardrobe, and I wear grey when I don't want to be seen, when I don't want the attention on me. So if I'm withdrawing and retreating, I generally, when I'm in grey stuff, I'd probably be camping. I wouldn't want any photographs taken of me, and I wouldn't be on a Zoom call because I don't want the attention on me. It's my introverted time. So I had a massive big wake-up call on Friday that I realised that it's not that the grey doesn't work, but when I wear grey and I see myself in a photograph, I feel a bit down and depressed. And that's because when I wear the grey, it's when I'm having my lower energy times, which is part of my working and living my best. So, you know, I can't be high energy, buzzy, Cheryl, sparkly with all my colours on all of the time. And so it's almost like I had got into I shouldn't wear these colours, but actually it's okay for me to put my retreating colours on. But I have learned I will not wear those colours when I'm going to do videos, or I'm going to have a photograph taken, or I'm going to be seen by others, because when I'm in those spaces, I don't want to be that low energy kind of like feeling, if that makes any sense. So 2 things I want to share with you today is that Lisa Newport, my style coach, has got a free webinar on Friday. It does clash with something I'm doing, so you're going to have to make a decision about what you want most. So there's a free webinar of you, the 5 things about how to choose colours that suit you. Or we have Friday night, we have the Power of Fun event, which I know that Fiona's coming to. And the reason sometimes we stop having fun is because so much change is going on in our lives, or we want so much to change and we can't seem to make it happen, that we become really consumed with what's not working. We can become quite heavy in our heart, and we can become so that we're so stressed about stuff that we lose our sense of humour. So if you are feeling like that and there's a lot of change going on, you've got a couple of choices you can do. You can either think about the question, what would you like to have happen? You can reflect on what's worked and celebrate any progress and the small changes that are happening. Or you can get support to make the changes you want. And I can see Deborah's here. Love grey, but I do feel grey when I wear it. Yeah, and I think I'm okay, I've realised, as long as I can't see myself. As long as I don't see myself in the mirror, then I'm okay, but I don't want to see a picture. Alison Hoyland, how gorgeous. We'll talk about colour, and you're a style consultant as well, so great to have you here. It's lovely to see you. So I just want to talk about these events on Friday. So you can either go and see Lisa's, I'll get the link and put it below, Lisa's event where you can find out about the 5 colours you should wear. I've had a massive thing is that when I wear my bright colours, I have more fun, and that's okay that's what I want to do. And there are times when I want to retreat, so wearing my grey and my more sort of neutral colours and sort of it's not about me is also okay. Whereas I was putting them in right or wrong, which is something Lisa really works hard to say. This is not about right or wrong, it's about how do you feel. And so when I'm feeling a bit grey, I will wear the grey clothes, but if I don't want to feel grey, I don't wear the grey clothes. Which I know that might sound really simple, but it was a bit of one of those brain fart moments where you go, if I want to just be with that sad feeling and just want to retreat, that's okay. But if I don't want to stay there, change the clothes, because then when I see myself in the mirror, when I see myself in photographs, when I see myself on the screen, the feedback that my own system is getting is I'm okay. So that's something that I've learned about colour this week. Orange, here comes summer. I prefer to wear earthy colours. I'm not into bright colours unless out in the sun. It's great to notice these things though, isn't it? It's really funny about orange. I've been playing with the colours. I've got quite a lot of orange and quite a lot of red, and as some of you might have noticed, I was trying on a new red hat to see whether, because I want to get rid of my detective hat and I haven't worked out what colour to go with yet, but I feel that brings too much attention to me, and probably for the wrong reasons when it comes to marketing the business. So that's been interesting playing with that. And orange, I'm going for a corally colour, so that's something that's working for me at the moment. So let's have a look on the discussion here then. Think about what colours would you associate with fun, because we're doing the Power of Fun event on Friday. So if you are somebody who either just wants an evening of fun, or you're somebody who feels like you would like to have more fun in your life, come and explore, or maybe just in this virtual world where we're still in this temporary transition period yet before we're going to be free and back to all those things what you used to be able to do, and maybe take you a bit of time to get confident again, to go back into the real world with real people where you can touch and hug and listen to music and do other things that you used to find fun. We're doing the workshop on Friday for 2 hours. We're going to be looking at fun for yous, like what needs to happen for you to do more of that. And so we will be looking at the feedback you give yourself, because if you are being overcritical of yourself, there's a good chance it'll take the fun out of life. And whilst critiquing and being aware of what doesn't work is great, but being overcritical of yourself really doesn't serve you. So we have got fun is yellow and orange for me, terracotta or coral. Is that your fun colours, terracotta or coral? Please, ladies, underneath the video, if you are brave enough, get me some pictures of those colours that you associate with fun. You might have just inspired some names that we're going to use on Friday, because we're going to be talking about renaming ourselves and having some unusual imaginative names that we're going to be on the night. So fun, yellow, orange. So when you have yellow and orange for you is fun, when you wear those colours, then what happens? Or is it a case that you see the colours? I'd like to know, I don't even know what colour I think is fun. That's a really good question. I think it's quite multicoloured for me. So fun is variation and change, which is interesting because today's video is about a fear of change. So for me, that makes sense. So for me, colour for fun is lots of colours. So it's quite changing. It's like swirly. I quite like a lot of pattern in it. That's quite fun. But if there's too much change going on, those patterns for me become too busy, and then I need a blocker colour to settle my state. So I've realised that's probably why if there's loads of change going on and I feel unsettled in myself, then I don't find it easy to be fun. And that's when I want to put my grey clothes on and just sit and be quiet, because I've got stuff I need to process. I need to settle my own system before I can take on any more information. Even if what someone else is doing I would normally find fun, I don't find it fun in that state unless I've settled myself. So that's interesting information. I didn't know that before now. Rainbow colours, I like green, blues, terracotta is general, fabulous. It's when I see the colours. I don't usually wear those colours myself. I used to have a rainbow wool coat and have rainbow socks. So I would love you to hold on to those thoughts. So in relation to fear of change, or is it too much change, just noticing, if we use colour as a metaphor for change, when you change the colours, then what happens? And if there's too much colour going on, then what happens? And too much will be your own. It's a bit subjective. It's about you defining it. But I realise I like lots of colour. And what I'm learning through working with Lisa is that certain colours work harmoniously together. And that's when my system, when I see myself in the mirror, my system is more settled. But there's equally time when I go out and I'm dressing up and I'm just having loads of fun, that actually I don't need... The way I dress for work is different to how I want to dress to go out, because I'm less aware of what everybody. I have to think about what other people are thinking and feeling. It's my job, but maybe when I go out, I'm more like that person who's dancing like nobody's looking, and obviously I can't sing either. So maybe that's why my dress tends to change when I go out. It tends to be more patterny for when I go out versus when I'm working, which has just been interesting having that conversation with you today. So it is 9:30. I do need to be somewhere else. Loads of love to you all. Have a fantastic week. You know where I am if you need to manage that critic and to get clarity of what you want so you can do more of what you love and ditch the critic that says you can't. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you again here on Friday. Speak to you soon. Thanks for joining me, everybody. It's been lovely to see you all today.